Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of The Rookie and the Vet, a series all about what the Healing Cycle Foundation does, how we support Ontario hospices, and shedding light on the importance that hospice and palliative care service providers provide to Ontario residents and their families. My name is Mallory McGrath, a.k.a. The Rookie, and I am of the millennial generation, those who were born between 1981 and 1996.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Kassies, and I'm the chair of the foundation, and I'm from the boomer generation. I'm just a little bit older than Mallory is.
So today we are very excited to welcome on our first ever guests here at the Rookie and the Vet series.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to introduce you all to Bonnie Bagnulo and Patricia Whitwell. Hi, Bonnie and Patricia. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
They are joining us from the Niagara on the Lake Community Palliative Care Service. And today they're going to speak with us a little bit about the services that their organization provides and chat a little bit about how they've been involved with the foundation. So Bonnie and Patricia, could you fill us in each a little bit on your roles at your organization and also how long you've been there and what brought you into this industry?
Sure, I can start first. So I've been with palliative care for 3 years. My background is bereavement. I have worked since 2002 in death, dying, and bereavement. I worked at a funeral home and I did a lot of bereavement specialist training on my own. So there was an opportunity to mix my business background with my palliative care background in this position, and I was hired. So I couldn't be happier because I love what we do.
Wonderful.
And I'm a registered social worker. I work in a long-term care home in Niagara on the Lake. And originally I came onto the board of directors in 2004 as a representative from the home. So I was just kind of roped into it. But it was such a fabulous group of people, and the organization, I just loved so much what they do. And so I sort of worked my way up, and now I've been the chair of the board since, I think, too long, 2014. I've been here. So it's a great organization. We have our volunteers come in and visit in the long-term care home. So that gives me the opportunity really to see directly some of the interaction, some of the assistance they're able to provide our clients. And they don't want to just come in and hold their hand in their last week of life. They want to get to know them and have relationships with them. And it's great. It's heartwarming to see that. So I get to see it from both angles, which is nice for me.
Now, when I was learning about sorry, Ron. When I was learning about hospice care, I thought that hospices were always a place that someone went to, right, to live out their last days. But that's not what your organization is exactly, correct?
Absolutely. We are known as a community organization. So we do service the 3 long-term care facilities that are in Niagara on the Lake and Virgil. And we also do our services for clients that are in home. So basically we have about 80 to 90 at any time that are in their own residences. And then the balance is made up in the long-term care. So palliative care, a hospice palliative care is an approach. It's basically not, a palliative care floor in a hospital. So yeah, we can provide it, whether it's residential or community. It's the approach of care rather than the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's wonderful, Bonnie. We're impressed on all the amazing work that you do as a hospice, and your model is certainly a different one than people going into a hospice building. So that must take probably a lot more time and effort to see people by having to move around to different places. So you've been also a long-term partner of the Healing Cycle. There was Terry before you, Terry she and Terry he were their email addresses, what I remember. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, really, really nice people. And so why don't you tell me a little bit more about your experience with our foundation?
Well, we started, I think Terry was about 9-10 years ago. Terry brought it to the board, but she really was the spearhead in the early years. And just, we were a very small team, small but mighty. But we're very proud that we've always been in the top group of the fundraising. You can't see
number one last year.
Yeah, we have our trophy case somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome, guys.
Yeah, we're we're quite proud of that. And I've
Mhm.
physically done the ride, I think 3 times. And yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it, and it's been very successful, and the community's been very generous with us. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with that, certainly from what I've seen. And you know, let's do this now, Bonnie. You know, I've got a team shirt too, so I'm just going to hold up. That's the big team there. And woohoo!
These are
And
all
Delicious.
I'll have to say that Bonnie was really disappointed that I didn't give her a trophy this year, because I said I was mailing the check, but then I ended up having to bring a check, and I didn't bring you a trophy though, did I?
I never think about that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm. We have them all on display, and we talk about the healing cycle all the time. So to be honest, they're on our website, and it's kind of like a better initiative for our team to come out and join us, because there is that incentive of being the best. So
Right.
we want to raise as much money as possible, because we do so much with that money that we raise. You know, you can't be fundraising every single time you turn around. So it is our largest fundraiser, and it affords a lot of equipment. We lend equipment free of charge for all of our areas. So we're talking wheelchairs, walkers, things that people are in need of. And that money is specifically put towards our equipment.
No, it's good. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a lot. I've seen some of the equipment when I've been there. So
yeah,
that's really amazing. That, I mean, I'm so new to the foundation. It's really amazing for me to hear how impactful the foundation has been to your community and the care that you provide. And I'm curious for both of you who've been in this industry overall, and more specifically working with hospice and palliative care in the last few years, what it's been like for each of you, and also for the staff and physicians and whatnot that you work with, the sort of impact you notice that you're having on patients and their families.
Well, I see from the long-term care home, just seeing the volunteers come into the home, just to give them that support, the moral support. They can help them, you know, write letters, make phone calls to families. Certainly now with the whole new Zoom, FaceTime thing that we learned about because of I know we were from a grant able to purchase a bunch of iPads.
good.
Our volunteers, once they can come back into the homes, they'll be able to help families connect more. And they also just sometimes we can talk about the ones in the community maybe.
Yeah, I think that the greatest impact, you know, to repeat myself, is having the equipment that we're able to bring out. You know, people start to, their skin starts to atrophy, and that makes things hard on the bones. We bring out sheepskins and all kinds of different equipment that you can't get back. So it's not like we're lending you this and then we're going to go pick it back up. And they're not inexpensive. We're talking upwards of $70. So we can bring that to our clients and stop those bed sores and stop that skin breakdown by being able to purchase those products. And we, you know, couldn't be more grateful when we go into a home and my sore is better. And, you know, we're able to do this. People are just so excited that they get it for free, and it's for free because we have a huge fundraiser that provides us money. The donations go, and they know that it stays within our community.
And I think the respite that our volunteers can provide to caregivers is very big. You know, it might allow them the opportunity to go for groceries or just to go have a bath, you know, a bubble bath, relax. And, you know, I think there's been cases where if we haven't had our service, some of these people would have ended up in the hospital.
Definitely. Definitely. Because if the caregiver, you know, we know that the patient is, you know, the trajectory is not good. But if we have a caregiver that is breaking down at the same time, then we're in double trouble, because now we have two people. So when we do have our visiting volunteers go out, not only do they save the day with the equipment, but they save the day, period, by being psychologically available to the caregiver and the client.
That's really heartwarming. You know, the experience that and the way you run your model is really interesting to me, because again, like I said earlier, I know how the other hospices work. So I just had another question for you. It's been a year almost, right around now, it's almost been a year since we've been in this pandemic, and how have you been able to continue your work, and what challenges have you come across doing your work?
Well, I think the greatest challenge is the fact that we couldn't get the volunteers into the homes, certainly in the nicer weather, and depending on what color code we were in, what the restrictions were, because of course we have to follow everything to a T, that the government is mandating. So our services have kind of switched. As Patricia had indicated, the virtual service has definitely beefed up, but the one-on-one and providing that respite care in the home has definitely fallen away. So we're hoping now that our first shot of vaccine has been given to most of our volunteers, we're hoping that with the second one and restrictions maybe hopefully getting loosened, we'll be able to get back to normal.
And what zone are you guys in right now?
Red.
Red zone still? Okay.
Oh, you're red. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That kind of leads. Sorry, go ahead, Patricia.
I know our residents in the nursing home certainly miss their volunteers coming in to visit. And
Sure.
For sure.
But I think one of the positive outcomes is we have learned more about doing things remotely. And so that going forward might help us more for people to connect with people who are out of town, call grandchildren who live far away. So that's been a positive. And when we went into the red zone, it also allowed us to start up some grief walks, which I think Bonnie can talk a little more about for some of our bereavement clients.
We're seeing a lot of, shall we say, not clinically complicated, but it is complicated grief because you don't have your family with you. You don't have that circle of comfort and care around you should you have a loss. And sometimes you weren't even able to be in that hospital with that person that has passed. So, having the grief walk has really, really brought a lot of people together. We have a group of about 8. And we're, distanced and walking and talking masked, but at least it gives them one outlet where they can be with people that are sharing that common, unfortunate thread of grief and bereavement.
Oh, definitely.
I found it interesting what you said earlier too about doing the ride locally really, I guess, enhanced your group or more people found out about you.
Actually, last summer was amazing because we didn't know what you were going to do with the ride and what it would look like and how we were going to do it. And it was amazing. We ended up actually traveling down the parkway, all of us safely distanced, and with our masks. And there was at least, I think there was a group of 12. We were allowed at that time to have 20, but we did only have, I think, 12 or 13. But it was amazing because everyone in the community, we had advertised and they were all looking for us and entourage. It was wonderful. It was great.
Yeah, we had the mayor come out and sort of wave us off to start. And of course, we are led by Santa Claus. So,
whoa.
And Santa Claus in the summer.
So that's our weapon to all our fundraising. So he led us in his red.
Yes, we are so blessed. Actually, speaking of Terry, Tim Taylor actually happens to be the brother of my predecessor, and he continues to tirelessly raise funds for us and ride. And I think he's in competition with you, isn't he, Ron?
And for the top 10, I think so.
Yeah.
I do a little competition with one of our board members too. But anyways, I love raising funds. Yeah.
It's interesting. My next question had to do with whether or not being a rural-based organization came with its challenges. But as you've spoken more and more, I mean, everything has its own set of challenges, but you've spoken so much of that community element that it almost sounds like being in a rural community where everyone knows everybody, everybody's involved, right, in the community itself, that actually is a benefit for you. One, would you agree with that? And two, are there still challenges that you find being a rural-based organization?
I think one of the challenges in a smaller community is transportation for our client.
Okay.
It's you don't just call up a taxi or hop on a bus if you lived in Niagara on the Lake, you know that. So that's one of the programs we are working on that we've been able to work on the policies and stuff is when this is all over is we're going to start having volunteer drivers.
Great.
Because it's very difficult. Most of our clients, they live in Niagara on the Lake, but they're doctors and specialists and are in St. Catharines or Niagara Falls, and it's not easy. So I think we're definitely looking at that. The other challenge that they have too is being in that community. It is
predominantly a retirement community. So we do have a lot of seniors, and they have moved from other areas and other places. So, they don't have their family like we do, a brother, a sister, someone can go get something for you. A lot of them do not have that available to them. So our service also provides rides and grocery picking up and certain services for them that can make their life that much easier.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think that's actually the end of our questions for you ladies today. So I wanted to thank you for joining us. We did want to keep it, on the shorter side than the longer side.
Oh yeah.
And, and keep on doing that great work you do down there in Niagara on the Lake. I know it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you both so much for coming. We appreciate you being a part of our series. Just a heads up to everybody who's watching that registration for the Healing Cycle ride in September is now online. So head over to thehealingcycle.ca to register yourself individually or to join a team. And remember, it is 400 kilometers in 4 weeks. And we hope that each individual person can raise $400 if possible. So 4 times 4 times 4, let's raise as much as we can for the hospices and palliative care teams in our community. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Healing
Bye.
Cycle.
Yeah.